Hi, this is Manushka Jessica, host of Luco T Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to Luco T Podcast. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being an audience of Luco T Podcast. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. I also want to thank those that have already subscribed. Dr. Umar Johnson. I find him to be a very tragic story because this man clearly was used by the system and they disposed of him like sanitary napkin once they had gotten all their waste on him. Dr. Umar Johnson thought he was chosen. He stood like a preacher, screamed like a prophet, thought like a soldier. But the system never feared him. It simply managed him. They let him rage as long as it was contained. Let him speak as long as it didn't spark revolt. They gave him just enough rope to perform, but never enough to pull others up. He became their favorite decoy, real passion, trap, and a fake ring. Crowds loved him. The power structure watched him. They knew his voice would echo, but never crack the wall. It was all a performance in a cage, people. He wasn't just ignored, he was used. They turned him into a caricature before he saw it coming. The conscience label became a muzzle, not a crown. They monetized his rage, then mocked it on mainstream show, made him a meme, a punchline, a spectacle. And when they finished feeding on his message, they disappeared him. No arrest, no scandal, just abandonment. It was strategic, cold, and humane. He didn't crash, he was unplugged. The silence around him is louder than his loudest speech. His dream of a school became their weapon. They let him run toward it, knowing they never let it stand. Black's excellent on his turn. That's unacceptable. So they turned his ambition to a joke, call him a scammer, a madman, a fraud. His own started to doubt him, and the system smiled. Divide and conquer every time. The school was never meant to open, not because he failed, but because they needed him to fail. Failure kept him contained, broken, manageable. They drained his soul in slow motion, not through death, but through disappointment, not through bullets, but through betrayal. He watched fake allies rise while he sunk. He saw lesser men get platform while he got blacklisted. Each interview a trap, each microphone a cage. He couldn't change the machine, it changed him, wore him down, a lion pacing in a zoo. He once raw, now he rumble. And they laugh because they know they broke him without laying a hand. What did he get in return? No power, no protection, no peace. The community he tried to uplift turned their backs. The same one who cheered him let him fall. He became a ghost in real time, talked to the world, but no one heard, felt alive but wasn't seen. He was left to fight shadows with no armor. A man who gave everything received only echoes. The sadness isn't just that he fell, it's that we watched. He was never a threat to the elite. He was a tool for them to study Black rebellion. Let the fire burn just long enough to measure its heat, then smother it with silence. He never saw the cage because it looked like a stage. Never saw the lash because it looked like a mic cord. Once they saw once they saw the people stop clapping, they cut the lights. Just like that, gone. He didn't die, but his purpose did. No one called 911 for his soul. The system disposed of black men in stages. First, they entertain you, then, they exhaust you, then, they erase you. Dr. Umar became a symbol of what happens when truth is allowed to roam, but only within walls. He was never jailed because they didn't have to. They weaponized his own people against him. They made his passion look like madness, made his effort look like ego. He couldn't stop the bleeding once they opened the room. He is not crazy, he is crushed, crushed by the weight of a cause no one wanted to carry with him, crushed by a system that smiled while it buries souls alive, crushed by time, betrayal, and silence. They use him like a sanitary napkin, absorb his energy, discards the remain. No burial, no respect, just disposal. That's the final fate of the conscious black man, used for inspiration, then tossed into a bin. It wasn't his death. It wasn't his death we witnessed. It was his unperson. Now he speaks an echo and emptiness, no headlines, no backing, just fading relevancy. And still he speaks. That's the sad part. He doesn't stop because he believed. He thought the people would come around. But belief without backing is a slow suicide. He's dying by a thousand ignorant truths. Each post, each live stream, each cry for action. It's not a strategy, it's a funeral in motion. Dr. Umar Johnson, forgotten fighter, not destroyed in public, but quietly erased. A cautionary tale for those who think passion protects you. The system doesn't fear your fire, it bottles it, then sell it back to you diluted and dead. Once your fuel run out, they move to the next one. They bled him dry, then tossed him aside, used and disposed like sanitary napkin, not because he was weak, but because he cared too much. And in this world, that's the shortest path to ruin. So, as we can see, a lot of things been going on with Dr. Umar. A lot of people, especially on social platform, pretty much have been laughing at him, making memes of him, talking about, oh, you had all this platform, you had all this fame, you had opportunity to make millions and millions. And some of these people, they're thirsty for what they saw he had. You know, they're low key kind of jealous on the sideline. But they didn't understand that Dr. Umo is a victim. He was used by the system. And true to form, what they typically do is that they get all their waste on you. And once they got all their waste on you, they dispose of you. That happens all the time across the board. The older I get, I realize it's a sick system, and it's global. It's everywhere, where there's this need to use beans as sanitary napkins and dispose of them, where dreams are killed, where ambitions are killed, and where they do that, where they actually go on a rampage and hurt and inflict pain on others. So that's probably why some people don't let others know of their dreams and ambition, is that I think that they want to keep it hidden, and I think they've been told correctly. You don't want to let them know what your true dream is. You don't really want to let them know what your true ambition is, because you don't want to accidentally talk to a dream killer, or you know your aspiration. You don't want to talk to people that were just going to stomp it out. And you don't really want to say it too loud. You just really want to be in the background, work on it quietly. And I think that was one of his biggest sin, was that he did it openly. I think he could have been doing what he was doing. He didn't need to get on that big bright stage where he called attention to himself. When you call attention to yourself, you got to be careful. Not all attention going to be good intention, but also you have to have the intention that you did not come to harm. And you got to stay grounded. You got to keep your circle really small. And unfortunately, Dr. Umar, we can see that his daughter out of nowhere got attacked. She's boy, bringing the pain, and you can see Axis bringing the pain. It's like it's like a feeding frenzy. They all attacking on his little corp. I'm like, shit. I mean, it's a feeding frenzy, and he's the dinner. It's unfortunate. Anyone that know that man, please reach out to him, give him some love. Please let him know it's okay. It takes a big person to retreat, fall back, get off the social media, keep his head down, and do what he has to do and just lay low. Right now it's curtain time. He just needs to take a bow and get off the stage. So anybody knows him, definitely show him some love. And I think anyone 46 and 45, anyone in their 40s and up, we that's been around, that witnessed some stuff, we understand what we're seeing here with him. So definitely show him some love. Yeah, they definitely feeding on him. It's a feeding fancy. And I won't be doing that. I think it's tragic. You mean well, but unfortunately, it was co opted and somehow you got manipulated in it, and it happened to the best of us. And the tragic is that you end up getting used in the process. And it's a very unfortunate thing that happened to you here. Very sad, very unfortunate. People that should have been looking out for your best interest and you just didn't have a good you just didn't have a good like base. People that really had your best interest. It just seemed like a lot of people came around you for what they can get, and when they couldn't get anything, they're like deuces. Anyway, I want to do something. I want to go ahead and send you nothing but healing, love. May the universe wrap you in protection, and may you be granted wisdom to know when to fall back, wisdom to get off social media, wisdom to retreat and let the universe, let all the energy and frequency heal you, because you need healing, my brother. Thank you so much. This is Manushka Jessica, host of Luco T Podcast. Thank you for tuning in to Luco T Podcast. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being an audience of Luco T Podcast. And thank you for subscribing. And I really mean that sincerely. Dr. Umar Johnson, nothing but the best. I hope a billion doors open for you. Whatever it is you're trying to do there, I hope that you can restart. May not be in that location. The best thing you can do, retreat, fall back, get back in your little get back in your cave, get back in your little spot, get in your corner, man. Work it out, um, reassess what you did wrong. Who did you have around you that you had no business having around you? What were you doing? And how were you being manipulated externally? Bye, everyone.